This woman was arrested for voting, but her defiance changed America forever. In 1872, SusanBAnthony walked into a polling station in Rochester, New York, and did something no woman had ever done before. She cast a ballot in a national election. That single act would spark outrage, a courtroom showdown, and a movement that transformed democracy itself. In the small town of Rochester, New York, SusanBAnthony walked confidently into a polling place. The Civil War had ended less than a decade earlier, and America was redefining freedom, but not for everyone. Women still couldn't vote. But Anthony, one of the fiercest women's rights activists of her time, was done asking for permission. On November 5, 1872, she boldly cast her ballot in the presidential election, choosing Ulysses S. Grant. When election inspectors questioned her, she cited the 14th Amendment, which guarantees equal protection under the law, declaring, "I have as much right as any man to vote." But just days later, a U.S. Marshal appeared at her door. She was arrested and charged with illegal voting. Anthony refused to pay bail, forcing the government to keep her in custody and go to trial. The judge, determined to make an example of her, refused to let the jury decide and declared her guilty himself. Her fine? $100, a massive sum for the time. But Anthony refused to pay a single cent, famously saying, "I shall never pay $1 of your unjust penalty." That act of defiance made her a national symbol for women's rights. Newspapers across the country covered the story, sparking outrage and awakening a movement. Her courage helped fuel decades of activism that ultimately led to the 19th Amendment in 1920, granting women the right to vote nearly 50 years later. So next time you cast a vote, remember SusanBAnthony, the woman who risked her freedom so that future generations could have theirs. Follow, like, and share for more interesting tidbits and stories from history.